Alright, here's a brief demo of Starbound. One of the first things you're going to notice is this game has an amazing soundtrack. Actually, comes in a little loud over me, unfortunately. There we go. Anyway, let's jump right. Actually, I'll show you the creation. You got these different species. I haven't found anything that makes a difference other than what they look like, what their ship looks like aesthetically. Let's make this little robot dude. Oh shit. We got fucking eyeball. Oh, there we go. Genius brain. Pelvic thrust man. And we'll make a match. So anyway, that's the creation. And then I'm going to actually load my real game someday. There we go. So, you're in your little spaceship. Everyone's spaceship is like this. The outside looks a little different, but normally it doesn't have all this. I've built this in here, so you can actually build inside your ship, which early on a lot of people do. I would recommend just living inside it. In fact, I'm going to have to go back to my home planet and take my house down, because I've already progressed past that point. But interface takes some getting used to. They don't like spoon feed the tutorial for you. They give you kind of some very bare basics, but E interacts on your mouse over. So like whatever I mouse over in range, I can open. Yeah, so you always start out here, teleport down to the ground, and you're on a planet. This is a desert planet, actually, in the Gamma sector, which I'll get into that maybe. But yeah, so it looks a lot like Terraria in the sense, you know, the 2D platformer, all the pixel art. Come at me, bro. Oh. See, that's what shit at me. Alright, I don't know if this is... I'll turn this down a little bit more. Some kind of mumbling. Anyway. Yeah, so here's my dude. You have your armor, and then actually have slots for your appearance. So like, that's my actual helmet I'm wearing. But you can make visuals, and then there's back stuff. And I've found many of these so far. So far all I found is a giant crayon, which I don't know what it does, and then this. I actually like this because it gives me a little bit of ambient light, which is pretty handy. Then you have abilities that you can find and unlock. You can slot up to 4 and use one at a time. So like, this is my double jump. And if I want to, I can swap to this when needed. Still get used to that. I just found this the other day. But I guess there's like a dozen or so of these different techs you can unlock. Yeah, so you got 2 bags. I haven't figured out how the inventory system works. It seems like you can put anything in any other bag, but it defaults to putting like dirt and shit in this one, and I don't know, other stuff, but yeah, so you got one-handed weapons, two-handed melee weapons, you have a hunting bow, which you actually need to get meat, and then there's a bunch of different guns as well in the game. There's like one-handed and two-handed guns, which I haven't found anything worth using yet. All of my melee weapons have been more powerful than the guns that I'm out. But yeah, the cool thing is you're always going to keep something in your right hand, and unless you're using something that's two-handed, you'll always wield it. So I like dual wielding, and then if I want to use my flashlight, I guess I'll have a weapon that I can attack with. Same with my axe, etc., etc. Pickaxe is a two-hand, obviously, but so yeah. Then it's dig around and find shit, a la Minecraft. As you see, I'm collecting all this stuff. Any block in the game can be collected, and there's a lot of stuff where you find a base with unique stuff. You can, you know, you can pull like graffiti off the walls and posters and everything. You can take anything you see and decorate your house. And oh yeah, you can build and mine in the background as well with your right mouse button. So, like if I want to build something, build shit out of dirt, right? And I would left click to place, you know, here's my house, and then I could right click and I could put the background, so I could actually have like place to then hang torches and all that without it being this outside wall. So it's pretty slick. Yeah, so you run around and you gather things and then you build stuff. I'm actually going to go back to when you're on the surface, you can beam up to your ship. So I'm going to go to my home planet, show you the crafting and kind of how the game progresses. So, here's where I am right now. This giant ass desert planet. Here's another moon I can go to. All in this system. So I can go to any of these other planets in the system. Sometimes it's just one. Sometimes, like, earlier I found one that had, like, fucking planet with, like, 6 moons. Sometimes you get these gas giants, you know. But yeah, see, here's a whole cluster. Grassland biome, arid, desert, etc., etc. So, every single one of these stars you can go to. They all cost the same fuel amount. It's 200 fuel anywhere to another star, be it in your sector, there's different sectors, or in another one. And then it's cheaper to go from planet to planet, and then even cheaper to go like from planet to a moon. I fucked up. So, let's see. And so as you can see, there's this marker here, and actually I haven't tried this yet, scrolling, but there seems to be a lot of stars. They're claiming infinite worlds, and it looks to be that way. All the worlds are procedurally generated, so they're all unique. You know, you can have similarities, you might run into similar bases on there, etc., etc., but see, I still haven't looped. I don't even know if it does. But anyway, if you remember a place in your game, or if you're playing online and someone's like, oh, come to me, and there's no fucking way to find them, they just need to go to their ship, and give you the X and Y coordinates, and you know, it'll center you on wherever they're at. So, it's pretty handy. I'm gonna go home, because that's where all my crafting stuff is. It's actually in beta sector. Yeah, right now I've unlocked, you start out with just alpha, I've unlocked alpha, beta, and the gamma sector. And they increase in difficulty. You see this threat level here. So there's harder enemies, but there's better shit. Like when I went to gamma sector, I started finding titanium. So anyway, we're gonna go ahead and initiate our warp. Does this little spool up? You can close this too at any time, but I'll show you what it looks like. Visual Star Trek mode. Anyway, yeah. So it's always the same amount of time, I've noticed. Like if you go across the galaxy or to a moon, it still does this whole animation. Gets kind of annoying, but whatever, it's pretty cool. Hasn't bothered me too much. Yeah, so this is the storage you start out with. The ship has this is where you slot the tech that you've discovered. This is where you say printer, which is pretty nice. Anything in the game that I find, like any object in the game that has this pixel amount, you see at the bottom of the tooltip window there, it says common on the left, and then it's got a little pixel times 1800. It's up here as kind of like your currency, for lack of a better description, in the game. So anything, I learned that anything that has a pixel amount can be scanned into here, and it destroys the original, but then you can print as many of these as you want for paying those pixels. So it's usually decorative stuff you can put in here, and it's kind of like, that's what I've been spending my pixels on lately, is just to conserve space, because obviously you can't put like weapons or ore and stuff in here or it would just break the game. But yeah, it's pretty awesome little thing they added there. Yeah, this is your fuel. Put like coal and shit in here, fuel it up. I haven't found any of the other fuel types yet, but yeah, so anyway, let's go down. And you always port in to a planet at the same place. So if you die, which you will respawn back on your ship, you're gonna end up at the same point always. So if you're like on the other side of the planet and you die, you have to walk all the way back. But this is a house I built. It was all random shit I collected up to that point. But anyway, so the progression in the game, you start out like just a little wooden crafting table, and you can make some basic shit, you know, out of wood, like I got like wooden gates and doors and all that. And eventually they have you gather a bunch of material and build an anvil, and then as the game progresses, you basically get to a point where you build an item that summons a boss. You fight the boss, and he gives you a unique item, this little molten core there, and that's how you make the metalwork station. And then making this unlocks better stuff, and most importantly, it unlocks the Star Mech upgrade. This is how I got to Beta Sector. So that's how you progress. And then I learned there was some stuff I built on here, and I won't give it away, but there was stuff that I was gathering for, and then I ended up making another boss, and that's what gave me the material for this. And now this has given me... I've built Mark III. I haven't made Mark IV yet. I don't know where the Dragon Bone is at to make that, so... But yeah, this is what got me to Gamma Sector. So, there we go. Yeah, it's kind of slow on this. But yeah, that's kind of the gist of it. It's a lot of fun to play with other people. It's in early access alpha right now, so depending, like every couple of major updates, they do a character wipe. So you can't really get too attached to your stuff. Like I wouldn't put a lot of time in like, oh, I'm going to make the most amazing looking house ever, because it's probably going to be gone. But that being said, the game is a blast, and it's really easy to pick it up. So yeah, that is Starbound.